In the beginning, our planet was formless, barren and lifeless. They were summoned from the infinite, our gods. They named themselves Ahura Mazda and her sister Arama. The two moulded each other out of dirt, earth and sand. They were quite the artists. But thinking back now, they didn't feel anything as petty as emotions, and they never cared how I would feel and the part I would play in this tragedy. The gods started their work on the volcanic remains. Their first task was to raise rivers, canyons and waterfalls. They did their craft well, birthing life wherever they travelled, and in the beginning, it was truly beautiful. Life flourished, and all seemed well, but Aramand resented her sister, and hated even more the heavy toll of life. For Araman only wanted to mould the mountains. She knew that life is chaos, that life only works in conjunction with terror and turmoil. So in secret, the Raven watched on with hate, and there she plotted. In the insanity of her realm she created Gaiamund, the curse of humanity. Immortal and tasked to end Ahura Mazda's plan for life. She poisoned my ears with her words, and left me to wander the paradise seeking knowledge, planning and plotting. Her final task for me was to pass consciousness on to her sister's final creation, humanity. The humans were cursed with my gifts: intelligence and greed, lust and vanity, war and climate change. The Raven watched on as all combined, the humans ruined the earth back to the oblivion of old. The water that nourished life turned to acid. Any life that clung on was dying and failing. In the end, it was only I that was left. While the humans ravaged the planet, I for one was content in my own lands, feeding myself on my untouched island, but in the end, even that turned barren. I was forced to travel the earth seeking fresh air, water and nourishment, for although I was immortal, I tragically craved all the necessities of life: food, air and water. Nothing that has ever lived had ever felt the depth of my pain. Every breath was 1,000 daggers in my lungs. My stomach growled with the voice of 10,000 wolves, and for 50,000 years I roamed this scorched earth. As I walked the burnt sands, my feet ruined and torn, my salvation came. I saw flowers, heard the mating calls of extinct birds, and I saw life grow out of the black sands. A simple blade of grass was the herald that she had returned, awoken from her slumber. Ahura Mazda was near, and I knew my salvation was arriving. With the last of my strength, I walked over to her. She knew what I was, and she knew the monster her sister, my mother, had created. She gave the gift of mercy, and my countless lifetimes of pain ended in a flash. I do not know how my mother reacted, but I knew Ahriman didn't feel any pity or shame. I always believed this calamity was of her construction, and the raven watched on. The world was old once again, barren, burning hot and piercingly cold, and as she sat upon her throne of ice and fire, Ahriman knew her sister Ahura Mazda would one day return, and in her final chapter formed the dragon Zorag, the Apocalypse. I do not know what happened to the gods who formed me. Part of me hoped that they died that day, but knowing what I know now, they moved on to another planet, or perhaps another galaxy, replaying this dance till the end of eternity.